Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ICP price. Really, we have survived one of the worst weeks in this market. Since 2 weeks, the market is not been doing too good. And one thing that is interesting to me here is that what we are seeing with ICP, with this dump, is almost the same thing that we were seeing back here. As you can remember, from around April until the bottom right around July. So you can see we have almost a perfect and identical structure right there. So what does this mean for the ICP price? It means that the price is not going to continue dumping towards the downside, right? There is some kind of a relief that I think is going to be coming sooner rather than later in the market. We're also looking at the basic RSI, and yeah, this thing shows oversold and overbought territory. Right now, where we are with ICP is that area in which, historically speaking, throughout the lifespan of ICP has been an area in which some kind of a bounce usually happens, right? So it may not be a 300% bounce or something like that here that we will obviously see, but there are also structures suggesting that in as much as we have had this dump on ICP in the rest of the market, to be honest with you, they may be the moment that we also have been waiting for, saying that, altcoin season, this and that. So I'll show you all those charts and very interesting metrics that we are seeing on the ICP blockchain itself, and we will tie everything together nice and easy. I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for ICP internet computer price updates will now be able to find this video much more easily. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because I do TA on ICP and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. Let me not run on too much here, but I think I've already explained what's what here on the daily time frame. But if you want to even go like on a lower time frame, maybe the 4-hourly time frame or stuff like that, still we have a structure that is very much common there. And I think you've heard me mention or comment about a structure like this, in which you see that the price has had a very quick sharp drop, and then it pumps a little bit. You come back, you form some kind of a low, and you're looking to push here towards at least a retracement level. Then from there, this is where a decision has to be made, whether you're going to be continuing to push up or you're going to be dropping towards the downside once again. So this is a scenario in which we're anticipating ICP not to continue dropping down, but rather finding some kind of a relief, and at least maybe coming back here, maybe 40%, maybe even touching something like $10 before we can make a further decision to say, are we in a bear market and is it time to be selling? Which I don't, to be honest with you, I'm very reluctant to do. I don't have a problem with waiting for ICP, even if it's going to take another 5 more years. That's pretty much cool with me. So I think that's almost the same thing with a lot of ICP holders. But aside from this price section here, let me just show you what I'm trying to say here. That take a look at this example of UX Link. For example, this is the price action that it has had since we have had the crash, and you are seeing exactly the same kind of price action that I'm talking about, except that ICP looks like it's somewhere around these levels here. So yeah, a move like this one is something that is very much anticipate. Now, another example that I have is Binary X, which has been pumping very well today. Yeah, those ones may be a lot of exceptions because they are a little bit like smaller market cap. So you can see today, for example, it was doing something like 100 and something percent. I don't want ICP to pump 100% in a day, because it means that it's going to be dumping probably the next hour or something like that. We want a sustainable bounce. But in any case, I want you to notice that, yeah, there has been this waterfall kind of a crash. Then of course you retrace. ICP looks like it's working this level here before we can have some kind of a relief bounce here. Then from there, a decision has to be made with retracement levels, whether we're going to be continuing to pump towards the upside, or maybe you're going to be chilling out a little bit one more time. So this is the structure, immediate short term with ICP. Again, if we go back to the daily time frame, I think this is very much consistent with what we saw in the previous dump, which I've been saying that too. It's looking like it's very similar to what we have seen with ICP here. So you would compare this moment right there before this thing started bouncing, right? But whether it's going to continue following these ones here is really uncertain, but I would say that immediate short term a bounce here for ICP looks like something that is much more likelier than not. Maybe I'm just a moon boy and I'm very much hopeful, but really, to be honest with you, the data here for ICP is looking very, very good. I was looking at this post which was made by Fabio, I think yesterday or the day before that, and you can see something very, very interesting. This is the ICP that is held by whales, meaning like they hold at least 10,000 ICPs up until to something like 100,000 ICP. Now, you also have got another line in here, which you can see that this is the balance on exchanges. Something is very obvious here. The big players are choosing ICP. Let me show you right away why I mean that big players are choosing ICP, because if you look here, the smallest wallet has got 10,000 ICP, right? So if you go ahead and do a simple calculation here of saying that the current price of ICP right now is right around $6.50, multiplied by the minimum wallet that is holding like 10,000 ICP, you're looking at that wallet holding $65,000 in ICP alone. I mean, how many people have got a wallet that have $65,000 in one altcoin? So think about it. At most, right, we have a wallet which has got 100,000 ICP, and multiplying by the $6.5 that we are seeing with the current price section of ICP, and this $650,000. These are big whales. They are very much loading on ICP, as you can see here with the blue line is really pushing towards the upside. Now, much more interestingly is that you see that the balance off of exchange has actually been dropping. So you see what happened here, right? I mean, just speculating, looking at direct mathematics, it seems like Wells bought ICP and they took it out of exchanges. What does that mean? It actually means that they don't want to be selling ICP immediate short term, right? They're going to be holding for the long. I mean, this is really, really amazing. I don't know why a lot of people are not talking about this stat here, but shout out to Fabio, because this really is a great insight. He was also posting something that was also very, very much bullish long term, which is, if you see here, go down to the wallets holding 100 and 1,000 ICP. This is obviously relatively smaller to the 10,000 that we were seeing with the big whales. But even in this one, you are seeing that everybody is buying, right? So the wallets with 10,000 to 100,000 ICP is buying and taking ICP off of exchanges. And then the smaller wallets, right? I mean, regular people with 10 ICP, which is right around what, $65 or something like that. They're also buying very much strongly. So this is an asset that I think long term is going to have a lot of demand. And yeah, we haven't seen that yet. But at some point, I mean, I've been living in this crypto community for a very long time. And the things that we are seeing with ICP right now, I'm just going off of experience. I have seen the same things happening with XRP. For years, we're sitting back and we're watching content creators telling us that, the wallets on ICP, on XRP, I should be saying, are doing this and this. And we're like, okay, when is the price going to be rising? Obviously, I mean, it was really a good bet to hold XRP over those years, because you see what happened recently. A thing like that, I think, is something that can happen with ICP very much easily and even much more aggressive, because we're also seeing that ICP is doing something with the burning word, which you can see that there is demand for, computational power on the ICP blockchain. Sooner rather than later, I think it's going to be something that is deflationary. And when that happens, I mean, I'm really sorry for somebody who wasn't holding ICP right around $6.50 here, or $6, to each their own. But in any case, I wanted to talk about whether the top is in for the market and we can expect an altcoin rally. This is the Bitcoin price on a monthly time frame, and what we have here down is the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and this really has been consistent throughout all the bull cycles that we have had with BTC. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that when you see the RSI crossing below the moving average, which is this line that you see why they're going, if you cross below that line, this is obviously lights out, which means that the bull market is over. So we saw that in 2013, 2014, and we pretty much saw the same thing right there in 2017. You can see that this wasn't too good for the market in general. And then you also saw the same thing happening in 2021 that also marked the peak. Right at this point, we don't have that yet, right? We're gonna wait for the monthly candle close. This is right around 3 weeks from now. And maybe we can have a confirmation to say that, okay, we have finally broken above the moving average, and we can start calling for a bear market to say that, it's lights out. Even in that scenario, I think I'll be motivated to buy as much ICP as possible, because I think I actually don't have enough, right? So we'll see, because if somebody's holding like 10K, I mean, why shouldn't I be holding like around that? Let's see. If the price drops, maybe to something like $4 or something like that, I mean, we are going all in on ICP Internet Computer Protocol. In any case, I don't think that the bull market is over here, simply because I'm still waiting for that moving average to be crossed. But you also see that there is something missing here, which is this euphoric stage that you can see here and here. We don't have anything like that here. Yeah, maybe the market is different, we'll pass but one thing that was certain in previous bull markets is that when you were crossing below the moving average on the monthly time frame on the RSI, this was actually marking the top of the cycle. Now, much more interestingly, if we go to the daily time frame and then we try to see if we're going to be having any altcoin season or not, this is really going to be getting interesting, because if we just compare what the price action of Bitcoin is at this point, I think it's very clear to somebody who is paying attention that this is somewhat of a distribution structure that is happening here, right? luckily we had the same thing happening in the last bull cycle, and the question would be like, what happened with altcoins during that season, right? The truth is that they crashed bigly. We also saw the same thing here, although this distribution here back in 2018 wasn't as aggressive. So it was actually very short, very aggressive compared to the slow kind of methodical way that we are seeing with BTC right now. But the bottom line here is that when the distributions were happening in here, initially altcoins crashed very strongly, but they even managed to come back and had fantastic runs towards the tail end of that, distribution structure that we have on BTC. Let me just go ahead and show you what we are talking about. And this is, let's go with Litecoin, for example. And maybe we can also go with Ethereum Classic, or maybe Doge, something like that, or even Ethereum. Either of them will do. But what you see here, especially in 2021, is that, these altcoins, we're using two examples right now, Litecoin and Doge. Take a look at when they started really going aggressive right before Bitcoin just crashed. So even if you think that the top of the market is in and BTC is going to be crashing, the one thing that we still have to wait for is price action like this from a lot of altcoins. And I think that ICP is also still very much in this bracket. So Bitcoin was dropping, and you can see Dogecoin, Litecoin really going strong in that drop of BTC because there's distribution happening there. What we mean by that is that people are selling Bitcoin and they're rotating into altcoins because they're looking for better percentages and stuff like that. These things will remain the same. A lot of people are saying this market is different right now because nah, I don't believe that, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum, and we see with Ethereum it was pretty much the same story. Bottom line is that even if BTC is going to be crashing here, I think that altcoins are going to be shining very much strongly into that crash. So this is where we are right now in the market, and I want to thank you so much for watching this video because really it has been a long one, but I wanted to just deliver. I haven't made an ICP video in a very long time, but this is exactly what my thoughts are. I'm not bearish on ICP yet, even though if I'm bearish, I want to be targeting that 10,000. How can somebody be holding 10,000 ICP in one wallet? What happens when ICP goes to $200? These are kind of the dreams that I have right at this point, but to each their own. I want to thank you so much once again for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and then of course, if you want to be trading with me short term, feel free to join our private Discord group, and you can join that via Patreon. The link will be there in the description or probably the comment section, wherever you can find it. And then I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.